let us get to the interview with the Senior Manager Global Apparel from Adidas Golf, Michelle Mulligan. This is an interview that Scott did with Michelle out at Cape Breton, the aforementioned, during a product release media
testing
testing session.
Yeah.
Okay, enough about me. The interview, Michelle Mulligan, here on the Flagstick podcast.
Okay, we're here with Michelle Mulligan at Cabot Cape Breton, enjoying ourselves here in a beautiful environment, but also a great environment to test out some of the great new products the company is launching here with the Fleece Fairways event. Want to explain a little bit about the history of this product line that's being introduced right now and kind of what's gone into it from a history perspective.
Well, believe it or not, this started 2 years ago. So we did a lot of market research, consumer research, really kind of dove into what the golf consumer is looking for, especially in extreme weather conditions. Adidas Golf headquarters being in San Diego, we don't really deal with the elements, so we really had to go above and beyond and really figure out what the golf consumer wants when golfing in extreme weather conditions.
So when you're looking to do the line, is it a case of, okay, we have to blow up, start from scratch, or do you kind of adopt some of maybe the great things that you've done in the past and said, we're going to carry that over and we're going to add some other elements to it?
Exactly. Like we take the key features that are working really well. For example, DWR, it's a must-have. Stretch, must-have. Function. But then we kind of added in some new Primaloft Gold into the new Frost Guard line, lightweight fill that's water resistant, waterproof, and then also this really great stretch nylon that wicks moisture in addition to DWR to kind of help the rain elements beat off the garment.
And for you, I mean, when you're looking at golf specifically as its sport, what are the challenges that golf provides that's a little bit different than maybe some of the other other sports that maybe Adidas addresses in some of their other products?
Sure. Playing in the cold, right? Like everyone wants to stay warm, so we added features to keep the body warm, in addition to cold ready and fleece, and just also, I keep reiterating stretch, but it's all about stretch and being able to function when you're golfing.
When you look through now, especially golfers are changing, especially the demographics change.
Yes.
How are you looking at that differently? I mean, you're saying you're doing market research, but are you looking at now that golfer is got different needs, and are you dipping into maybe some other fashion, other industries,
Yes.
other things to look for hints and clues of maybe what they're going to like, especially now that they're become golfers?
Yes, especially due to the pandemic.
Yes.
A lot of golfers came to the community, and we have a lot of newbies, people that just like to go to the range. Some people are just still dabbling, going out to the course, but we're seeing that fashion element where more trending styles, oversized looks are coming back, just really bringing fashion to the course. So we also tried to implement that within the range.
And how challenging is that with the fact that from a worldwide perspective, fashion trends are much different across all different continents. So how do you bring that into it? And in some ways, do you say, okay, we're going to do that because people are doing it, or let's lead and let's go try to set the trend?
Yeah, we're trying to set the trends with different segmentation within our range. Yes, we have our core range that you can find your basics, but we're also trying to push within elements of our range, offering more advanced and trendy silhouettes.
And changes as well. I said about the golfers are changing, but the industry is changing as well. Retailers are changing. People that are selling it. How do you educate the retailers so that they can really maybe tell the story of your product a little bit better, so make it more appealing to the consumers?
Yeah, that's first and foremost, because if the retailer doesn't understand where we're coming from, it's going to get lost on the consumer. So we really try to dive in with our key technologies throughout, not even just golf, but that the brand is offering, so it's a more cohesive story, in addition to just really showcasing just our storytell with education.
And when we start to look at that, like I said, as far as trends or so forth, colorways and so forth, how does that come into play as far as golf? Golfers have tended to be very conservative in the past.
Sure.
How do you again sort of push that so you get that sense of, okay, there's things that are trendy, but maybe here's some things that is our personality as a company and that should be in those elements.
Yes, for sure. We'll always have black, blue, the reds, but the brand in Germany actually gives us these really great color options and key stories that the brand will use as a whole. So we'll pull like actually key, just really bright, vivid colors that are like specific to golf, just to make it more fun and wearable on the course.
Now, as I said, we're here at Cabot Cape Breton. It's a very inspirational place as far as going out and being there, and you got a chance to play yesterday on the Cliffs course. How does being at a place like this, which, again, golf is all outdoors, with the exception of obviously indoor simulators, all that sort of things, but how does a place like this play into your own inspirations when you see this, things that you can take back to maybe the team and talk about?
Yeah, for sure. Wind, cold, like it was unbelievable the other day golfing. So just kind of watching, observing, wearing the product, feeling, oh, I probably shouldn't have worn this piece because the wind is coming right through, but just taking back and just almost even targeting more with technologies as we start up the new seasons.
And another aspect that I think is growing a lot, and I talked to some of the team about it. We talked about the women's market and the massive growth in that, and how important that is to give the due attention to the products that are there.
Yes.
How often does that come to mind, and how often are you kind of going, okay, we need to tackle this in different ways because we're looking at different industries, different needs that are much different than probably what some of the men are wanting to wear on the golf course. Right.
Yes, it's on our minds every single day at the office. The women's market is changing drastically. Wearing just a skirt in a polo is not cutting it anymore. You're seeing pleated pants being brought in, vests. Women really want to identify with their own personal style to bring out to the golf course. So we're really trying to implement those kind of aspects within the range to the women's range.
And how does maybe some feedback that you get by observing things that are happening in like social media trends and so forth, how does that play into that role as far as those selections, as far as the directions you want to take things?
Yeah, definitely. Like bringing up pleated pants, like women would not be caught dead in pleated pants a couple years ago, and now it's all you're seeing on social media. We'll be seeing some sneak peeks of pleats coming into the women's range in the future, but it definitely does inspire us and kind of gravitate our range in a different way moving forward.
And how do you go about sort of sharing that story for women golfers and letting them know that you have great products and they are out there, and that you're just not going to go to the store and end up with one shirt and one skirt and that's all you sell? How do you get to them and get to share that story and make it as powerful as the product is?
For sure. We partner with our ambassadors in addition to our athletes, just to really show that the garments that we are creating that look very fashion forward do stretch and move with you and are absolutely perform for golf.
Awesome, thank you. Congratulations, wonderful line.
Awesome, thank you, Scott.
Looking forward to testing more of it for sure, and sharing it with other people.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. She certainly knows her stuff.
Yeah, she does. Lovely lady. It was great to meet her and get to spend time with her and explore, lots of different things, as people saw there, talking about fashion trends, how they get their inspirations. There's a lot that goes into it, and I think it's neat when we're able to have interviews like this. People get to see sort of the story behind the products. They always think of another pair of rain pants or a vest or a jacket, and they're just like, yeah, whatever. But they don't really know the story behind it. And when they get to meet the people behind it like this and see what it's all about, I think it adds a whole new texture to the products. So,
well, there certainly is a method to the madness. It's not really just a case of making another shirt or another jacket and putting it in the market from the standpoint. There really is a thought that goes into it, an improvement process that goes into it to build something better than the previous version of that product, or something new. There's always new materials that I can't imagine how much time they spend studying and researching materials.
Yeah.
Just to be able to make, clothing that suits a certain purpose.
Yeah, for sure. And Chase Aronson, who's their senior manager for product development, we actually did an interview with him as well, and that will be appear up on our YouTube page, kind of separately, coming up in the next little while. But I think people, they don't see the difference really in fashion. A lot of people are so used to fast fashion these days, but you got to remember, a lot of the things that are products, that are drop shipped, and maybe they're just built by a brand and they're just put out there, a lot of them are just, taken out of open stock from, production plants and stuff like this. It's a way different world when you get into the big major manufacturers and the process that they go through to develop and create these materials and pick out the color palettes and go through exactly as Michelle explained there. These decisions are not taken on lightly when you're talking about, companies that do billions and billions of dollars in business. They seriously study this to make sure that it's going to have success. So there's a lot of thought put into it, and you see it in the products as well. And we'll have some reviews up on some of the products that I was able to test down there kind of in the next little while. But it's just the little thoughtful things that make a difference, and they make those products stand out.